And now it's time for build update number 3. And in the last one we got as far as we got the wings on, we got the body together, the cockpit in, and now it's time to do the what do they call them, the horizontal stabilizers, or stabilizers or something like that. It's the back wings. Okay, get the back wings done, and I hope to get the engine done as well, and the propellers, and a few other little bits and pieces. So let's carry on. Let's get on to the bench. Like I said, I'll get the those horizontal stabilizers. I think that's what they're called. The back wings. I'll get them done. We'll have a look at that, and then we'll carry on. Okay. Right. It took me a little bit of time, but I got them together anyway. They went together nicely. Ended up with no. They're level. Okay, they're perfectly level. I have no splits in them because there were two pieces to put together. They're level. They fit in nicely. Okay, the roots, the wing roots. These are the wing roots. So I presume these are the tail wing roots. They're all happy, and I'm all nicely. They're all nicely fitted, and I'm all happy with that. Crikey, Mike, I'm falling over myself today. So anyway, next step. Okay, next step is to get the propeller put together. Okay, it's only just the 4 propeller blades, the centerpiece, little poly cap, and the base plate of the cover. No, because you got to paint that, I don't think I'll glue the cover on, so I can get them all painted. So I'll go on and get that done anyway. We'll have a look at it. Okay, we'll have a look at that then when it's finished. Right, okay, propeller done. There she is. Nothing really to write home about. It was quite simple. Just a little bit of cleaning off on the pieces. Tiny little bit of sanding. They went together absolutely beautiful, and it's quite solid too. Yeah, it's very, very nice. Very, very nicely engineered by HASEGAWA, not by me. So there's our propeller done. So I'll put that aside, and we'll get started on the engine. Now the engine looks pretty intense, shall we say. Okay, we've got this piece here, which is our exhaust pipes and stuff. We've got more these pieces here. They got to go on. Yep, they do. And then we have all the way up to the tip. Okay, so we get stuck in with them. We get them done. We'll have a look at it. Right, as you can see, it's a little bit further on than I said it was going to be. Unfortunately, what happened was I'm after losing a clip. Yes, I did a clip. I did 2 clips actually. And I was looking at them there about 2 hours ago. And I deleted them when I went to kind of tidy up my, the little area in your computer where you store your pictures and things. And unfortunately, I deleted them, 2 of them, by accident. So I'll have to run through what I did. I did the engine. The engine's all done, and unfortunately it's all sealed up and everything. If you watch Monday's bum, you will see the engine. I'll show the engine on the bum just in case people think I didn't do the engine. You can see it, it's on the bum. I decided not to paint it because you can't see any of it, as you can see here. Okay, you can't see it, so I didn't see the point. I also did the flaps, the tail wheel, and the ordinary landing gear. Okay, and the foldy out doors that cover the landing gear once the landing gear is down. Beautiful construction in these, or engineering, shall I even say. The way it's done, it just fits in very, very easy. It just sits in beautiful. Same idea with the flaps. When you have the flaps in sort of the downward position like I have them, There's little kind of levers, and it just slots in. It's absolutely beautiful, it really is. Just a little bit of clean up now to be done on it. I want to clean up here where the engine cowling here front meets the engine itself. Just needed a little bit of filler there and there. Just needs just a little bit sanding, just to kind of bring that down a bit, make it a bit neater. I also fitted the glass here on the back of that. I must remember to mask that off. Handy thing to do. Must mask that off as well later on when I'm doing all the masking. Because what I'm going to do with the masking is, because I want the canopy open, okay, so I can't really kind of paint it with the canopy open. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to sort of do the canopy on a separate little piece of blue tack or something even. Have it kind of assembled, masked off, and then paint that separate from this. Because the inside of this is already painted, I'll just stuff it with tissue, make sure it's all nice and neat, and that nothing gets I don't get any paint in there that I don't want, because I already have it in. That's really it. That's about as far as I've gotten. I showed the propeller. Propeller's done. So the next, oh yes, look, it does stand absolutely perfectly. The reason I had it on that was that's what I had it on all night, resting this morning, and it was there, so I just decided to leave it as it was. I did turn it over there but a little while ago just to see where it stand, and it stood, so I'm happy with that. Wheels don't kind of collapse underneath it or anything. They're solid, very, very nice indeed. So a few more little bits and pieces now to get done to it. There's a bit of sanding here on these, like I said. We've got the drop tank to do. There's a couple of handles and things. There's the steps to go on here and here. It's kind of a pull-out step, but I'm having them in the outward position, so the steps have to go on. There's one or two other little things to go in there. Of course, we've got the guns to put on, and the pitot tube at the front. I'm not putting any of the clear parts on, obviously enough, because they've got to be painted separately and then put on. But then I can start my, once all those little bits, the fiddly little bits are on, then I can kind of start masking it up. But I promise you, I will do my damnedest not to delete the picture. And we'll have a look at it when it's all fully completed. Okay, I'll even stick on the propeller here at the front. Goes on, but I haven't got the spinner. Apparently, that's called. Yes, the spinner. I haven't got the spinner glued on, so it's just going to fall off. So, but I will be gluing it on, because I can get in there with paint. I can get in there. No, I won't glue it on. It's just there is a slight little gap in there that you won't see if that's not painted properly or not. So because that's going to be painted silver, and this is going to be painted a different colour. And to get it nice and neat, I won't go ahead and paint that yet. Okay, so a little bit of clean up to be done on the inside of that as well. I never noticed there's a little bit of if we can see it. Hold on a second, I'll put this down. I just spotted it there. It's a good job I spotted it there. So I'm saying to myself, these aren't very even. That's kind of more of a curve than this side. I wonder did I break off something, but apparently I didn't. It's just there's a little bit of flesh in there, but I will double check, because it seems to be only on the one side. So I will check the instructions to see, is that little kind of unevenness supposed to be there. See the way it's sort of straight here, but it kind of curves, it bows here with that little protrusion there. See it? And if you look on the inside, it looks as if it's a bit of flesh, but for some reason it's just a little bit thicker than a normal piece of flesh. See, there we go. It looks like a piece of flesh, but it looks thicker than a piece of flesh. And the fact that it's on each of them at that side. So I'll double check on that before I go clean it out or do anything more with it. So we're going to have a look at it then. Like I said, just before I mask off everything, I can have everything kind of dry placed on it, and we'll have a look at it then before painting. So catch you then. Okay, so here we go. Construction is all finished. I have the pilot in. He's only just sort of dry fitted in. The canopy isn't properly on yet either, because I'm not painting it on it. I'll be taking the pilot out, be stuffing that area there, so I won't get paint in there, and I'll be painting the canopy as a separate pieces. I've got a beautiful mask set there to get the canopy done, but everything else is nicely set. The spinner on the front of the propellers, that's not on either. That's only held on with a bit of blue tack, but it's just together just to show you what it's going to look like before I paint it anyway. So I'll just move the camera down slightly and we can go in here, as you see, with the pilot. If that zooms in, there we go. I tilted his head. Yes, I moved his head slightly to the right, or sorry, to the left, I beg your pardon. Moved his head slightly to the left. Everything else, you know, there's that join there, the front cowling, all nicely cleaned up and everything else. A second, if I get that back to there, I'll try and do that there at that. Pop off these things because they're only going to fall off. I don't want them to scratch when they fall off. On my luck, they would. We can get sorry. Let me get a look at the underside of it. Okay. We've got the steps. Okay, I have to change the light. There we go. We've got the steps there in. We've got the drop tank in. There's the landing gear, all nicely done. All the little bits and pieces that have to be added are added. The guns are on. They're nicely set as well. A little bit of it. There we go. The guns are in. Okay. The pitot tube there, that's on. The only thing that hasn't been fitted are the glass parts here. There's on either wing there's one or two other little lights to go here, so they've got to be painted separately as well, using that clear stuff. Those are navigation lights, I think they're called. I'm not too sure on that. Like I said, it when you think of it, really, I know I've done a couple of 1/72nd scale airplanes, and the detail on them is kind of a bit on the minimum side, really, to be honest with you. Compared to this, like the detail is very minimal. But it's my first good sized plane and a good quality kit, and overall, wow, absolutely fabulous. The fit is beautiful. The kit went together fabulously. I can't say anything bad about the kit at all. I cannot say a single bad thing about the kit. The PE set that came with it, well, it didn't actually come with the kit. There was a separate PE set. It was an Edward PE set. Lots of it were, how would you say, small, extremely small and fiddly. Made no difference whatsoever. A couple of the parts then did make a major improvement, you know. So my vote on that would be kind of 50-50. The parts that I did use, I'm quite happy with. We've got the instrument panel. It was absolutely beautiful. That coloured PE kind of layered up a bit. It was absolutely lovely. There was the wiring for the engine that went on. That was absolutely gorgeous as well. Very, very nice. But you can't see the engine, so what was the point in that? There's this little kind of a piece here at the back. It's just bolt detail, really. And once you have the canopy on and everything in, are you going to see it? Is it going to make much of a difference? I don't know. There was a couple of other little PE parts which I decided not to go for. Just so fiddly, really. I bent a couple and and things like that. But lots of them were for places that you're not going to see. So would I recommend going off and buying it? If you could buy the cockpit section, there was 2 sheets of PE in there. You had the main brass one, and then you had the coloured one. If you could buy them separately, I'd definitely go for the coloured one with the cockpit and things like that. The other part of it, a lot of faff that wasn't really needed, to be honest with you. The other bit of aftermarket I have for that is there's an Edwards mask set for masking the canopies. I've never used a mask set on canopies, and to be quite honest with you, I've never really painted canopies either, because the couple of canopies that I have done, it was a thing I saw, because they're only 1/72 scale ones, and I painted them using a toothpick into the paint. So I can't really say too much about mask sets. This will be the first time I'll ever actually use a mask set, so we'll see how that goes. Next step for this now is getting it painted, getting it primed, let the primer dry, do the panel line shadings, and then get the colour on. Bits of detail painting that's got to be done to it. The decals have to go on, weathering. So there's still quite an awful lot to do. Believe me, there's quite an awful lot to do. This is only kind of the first half of it, and some people say that this is the easy part, some people say it's the hard part. I just took my time and I enjoyed it. I really did. I really did enjoy that. So that's it for this video. The next video, like I said, will be starting on the painting, so I'm looking forward to getting stuck into that. Don't forget to give it the old thumbs up if you liked it. If you have anything you want to say, stick it in the comments box below. I always like to read your comments. I always reply. If you have any questions you want to ask me or anything. So in the meantime, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it, enjoy it. That's the main thing, enjoying it. It's the whole part of the hobby. And as anybody's watched any of my videos in the past, I'm not an expert. I'm far from being an expert. I enjoy the modelling, and I kind of hope to get that across in the videos, that I'm doing this just to show my progression as someone that's not a kind of a rivet counter and using the exact colour paints and the detail of that is slightly wrong, I've got to go sort of rip half that apart to change those 2 bolts and things. I don't bother with that at all. I do it. I'm a kit basher to a certain degree when it comes to kits, but kit bashers are kit bashers, and it's all part of the hobby. Some people then go to the other lengths of it. They get everything perfect. They sort of scrape off detail that shouldn't be there, add detail that should, and fair play to them. They're absolutely fabulous modelers, brilliant eyesight, brilliant coordination, and when it comes to painting, there's some absolute fabulous artists out there. There really are. I'm not an artist. I'm far from it, but I enjoy what I do. So until the next time, lads, stay safe, enjoy your modelling, and like I said, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it and enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.